Welcome back to Ridgewood Apiary. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to show you a video from about mid-March that I recorded whenever I got to go out to another beekeeper's bee yard, and we actually installed a package of bees. So in my last video I talked about how you normally get your bees, and it's in one of two ways. You either get a nuke, which is about 5 frames, a couple frames of brood, a couple frames of honey, maybe some drawn comb or a pollen frame, and it's got about 10,000 bees in it, and a queen who is mated, ready to go. A package is a little bit different. It's just the bees and the queen. There's no frames, nothing like that. People tend to go for this one because it's a little bit cheaper compared to the nuke. Nothing wrong with it. I've never, personally, prior to this, I was never part of installing a package before. It is something that I want to do eventually here in my own apiary, but all I've ever done is a nuke and then splits. That's the only way I've gotten my bees. So we're going to take a look at a video on how to install a package. Hope you guys enjoy.
So what we see here is a 3-pound package of bees getting ready to be installed in a 10-frame hive. We've already removed the 4 frames in the center, so you're leaving 3 frames on each side. If you have an 8-frame box, what you want to do is still remove 4 frames from the center, leaving 2 on each side. The frames actually have beeswax already put on them, so if you have wax frames, you're good to go. If not, you do want to apply some beeswax to the frames and then also spray them down with a sugar syrup solution. Prior to actually opening up the bees, you also want to spray them with sugar syrup, and that just keeps them from flying around as you empty out the package. The small cage that you saw come out of the center of the package just now was actually the queen, and the queen is not familiar with the bees and the bees are not familiar with them. Pretty much what happened prior to the package being delivered is bees were taken from one hive and a queen was taken from another, so they're not really used to them. In the package you also have that tin can, which is nothing but sugar syrup, and now we're about to put them in the actual box. So what you end up doing is you will shake the bees around, and you should get a nice waterfall of bees, which you see happening here. It's okay to bang the box around, to shake it. Because we have that sugar syrup sprayed on the bees, they're going to collect at the center of the box. And what you will see in just a second is after we have emptied the box as much as we can, we'll have a nice pile of bees at the bottom. From there, what we're going to do is we're going to invert this box. We're going to try and get a few more bees out if at all possible, but we're still going to have some stragglers that are not wanting to come out. So we'll take that box and we'll put it at the entrance of the beehive, and there you go. You can see all your bees at the bottom. Now it's important to note that the bees in that pile does not contain the queen. She is going to remain in her cage. Now once we have emptied out as many bees as possible, we'll take the package and actually put it with the opening up right at the entrance of the bees. From there we will reinstall the frames, and we really want to be doing this later in the afternoon because the bees are going to be more likely to stay at home. Like I said earlier, they were in a completely separate hive. It's a new situation. You've got nurse bees in there, you've got forager bees in there, so they are going to want to try and fly away. And that's again why we spray them down with sugar syrup. From there, you want to remove, sometimes you'll just see a like cloth strap on the queen cage. In this case, we actually had a circular disc that was holding the queen cage in the package. Once you've done that, there is a cork, or in this case, we actually did not have a cork at all. That metal piece was enough. You want to remove the cork, and underneath the cork you should see a candy. It just looks like sugar, and you want to install this in the center of the frame between, in this case, frames 5 and 6. If you had a 8 frame, you would install it between frames 4 and 5. You want to do this with the opening, that sugar candy, facing up, and this is in case any of the attendant bees that are in there with the queen die, she can still get out. And those attendants and the queen are going to eat from the inside out, and all the bees that we just dumped in there are going to eat from the outside in. This takes a few days, and this gives the bees time to get to know the queen, to get to know her pheromone. We're also going to put some form of food in there. What you see here is actually a pollen substitute. We will close off the hive, put the lid on the hive, and then we will actually also take a jar of sugar syrup or a hive top feeder, or even just a pail feeder, and put it on top of the bees, because they are going to need to draw out some comb. In this case, the comb, that the foundation that we've put in, there's zero comb on it, so we need to make sure we feed our bees.
And it's as simple as that. If you've watched this video and my last video, you now know how to get started with your own hive. You know what equipment you need to buy. You know how to install bees if they come in a package. If they come in a nuke, you are literally just taking frames out of the nuke box and putting them into your hive. If you guys enjoyed this video, please comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you ring the bell. Check us out on Instagram. We are at Ridgewood Apiary. Facebook is at Ridgewood Bees. Take care.